Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Stuckey. I'm going to troubleshoot problem 942 for you. This problem is a review problem this week, and it covers a company that has to make a decision about whether or not to launch a product. And then the second decision they have to make is the survey to get better information worthwhile? Or do they just jump right to the decision about the product launch? So I actually have had two different students send me this problem. So they made slightly different mistakes. Both of them had a solid attempt. So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to show them slight mistakes in both of them, and like I said, talk about what both of them did right. This first student I'm so proud of. She nailed the Bayes calculations. So super proud of that. The second student had some trouble with Bayes, and I know that she's probably not the only one in the class still struggling with Bayes a little bit, so I want to talk about what this student did right in the Bayes calculation. So first of all, on this Bayes calculation, they actually give you all of the inverses already as part of the problem. So that information makes this a little bit easier. Like I said, you don't have to worry about whether you get the inverses right. After that, I know we haven't seen 1 with 3 before, but it really is same concept, slightly different application. So let's go over here. So this student went ahead and transferred all of the probabilities that were given in the problem down here. And then remember, with Bayes, you get mad. So she multiplied, then she added, then she divided. So what she did here, she multiplied let's see if I'll get it to show you. So she multiplied the chance of success if the survey said favorable with the overall chance that it would be successful, that the product would be successful. And then same thing for this one, or same basic concept for this one. She multiplied the chance that she multiplied the chance of success with the chance of success if the survey said neutral. And then with unfavorable, she did the chance of success if the survey, or the overall success times the chance of success if the survey said unfavorable. For these bottom ones, remember you use the inverse of success, so that would be the chance of failure. And she multiplied each of these failure numbers by the overall chance of failure. So I can show you that. Okay, then she added these up, okay, and then the last thing she did is that she took the chance of favorable divided by the overall odds that the survey would be, the chance of success if the survey was favorable by the overall odds of favorable. And so for the bottom one, she did the chances of failure if overall was fair. So what she did, she took each of these and she divided it by the chance, the overall chance that the survey would have that result. Okay, so neutral, you can see she did these two. So really, she absolutely rocked Bayes on this and nailed it. So where she ran into a little bit of problems is in the structure of the tree itself. And actually, I don't have precision tree loaded right now, and so I'll need to fix that in just a minute. But I will tell you that's why it's coming up like this. So if you have your tree come up like this, where you just have name or whatever and you don't have any numbers in it, that's why, because precision tree has to be loaded for that to work. And I've experienced that it had to be loaded first. Okay, so she did a good job in realizing that the first decision that she had to make was, do you survey the customers? Remember, when you do decision trees, you've got to make the decisions in the same order that the company would receive the information. So, so she got the first one right. But after that, she has all of the right decisions, or she has all the right steps in here, but they're just not in the right order. Okay, so for instance, and they don't necessarily have the right labeling. All right, so for this next one, she had a decision as to whether the market was favorable, neutral, or unfavorable. As much fun as that would be to decide how that would come back on the survey, you actually don't get to decide that. So this needs to be a chance node because you are taking a chance as to how each of these are going to come out. Now, what number are you going to get for the chance? That's going to be this number up here from Bayes, okay? That is the overall chance of occurrence of each of those. Now, once you have the chance node, next you have a decision node, okay? And that's what she put out here, but this decision node should be here, okay? So it should be moved to the third spot. And that is, with each of these outcomes, you then have the decision. Do you market the product or not? And then you have, after that, so the success failure, again, it needs to be on the tree. It just needs to be flopped with this decision. So this is correct. It's correct that it's a chance because, you don't get to decide if the product is going to be a success or a failure. So it is correct to have it in the tree. It is correct to have this decision to market the product in the tree. They just need to have their places swapped. And so, like she did here, you would only need the chance of success or failure if you chose to market the product. So it should be on the end of this. If you don't market the product, then there is no chance of success or failure. Okay. The other thing that I see is that you need to go ahead and put in the cost of the survey under the yes, because you put in the costs where they are incurred. So that was the main issues with this one. So let's go ahead and go to the second student's problem. All right. So again, this student struggled a bit more with Bayes than the first one did. And so again, I went through how to do that one already. So let me talk to you. I found some mistakes in the structure of the tree. Again, you have most of it. It's close. But let's go through and talk about tree structure for just a minute. All right. So the first thing the student has is market product. And remember that the survey is only going to do any good if you have the information beforehand in order to make a better decision about whether or not to market the product. So what you want to have first is that decision about the survey. So do you do the survey? Okay. And then once you do the survey, then you have the chance of favorable, neutral, and unfavorable for survey results. And then you have the chance, and then once you have those, then you have a decision about whether or not to market the product. And then after that, you have success or failure. So again, the student have most of the elements to the tree. They're just not quite in the right spot. So let me go over placement. So 1, okay, decision, and that is do survey. Okay, again, you get to decide whether or not to do the survey. 2, this is a chance. That's going to be survey results. 3, you're going to have another decision, and that is market this product. Okay. And 4, you're going to have another chance, and that is success or failure. Okay. And again, how do you know the difference between a decision and a chance? It is, do you have control over it? So you have control over whether or not to do the survey. You can decide we will do the survey or we will not do the survey. Once you've decided to do the survey, you have no control over the results of the survey. They are what they will be, okay? You don't get to decide, oh, we're going to get favorable results. If that happened, every business would be, a millionaire or a multi-billion-dollar business, because you would get to decide everything, and of course you would always decide it in your favor. Decision, market the product. Again, that is a decision because you have control over it. You can choose to market the product. You can choose not to market the product. The last is the success or failure of the product if it's marketed. And again, you don't get to decide that. All right. The other thing is for the no branch. Let me go back to the other students for that. So if you decide not to survey the customers, okay, you don't end up using, you leave out that second chance node, Okay, so this node right here, the survey results, you skip that. So you'd have the decision, do survey, and if the result, and for your no branch, your next thing would be a decision, market the product or not, because you wouldn't get any more information if you didn't do the survey. So this is for the tree for the yes branch, and then for the no branch, you leave off this number 2. All right. I need to show you how to do the expected value of perfect information. So we did the expected value of solid information last week. If you need a refresher on that, go watch the live lesson from last week. The link is in the comments on your course shell. All right, so your expected value of perfect information. So here's the deal. Here's the information that you need. Okay, so we're going to assume that it's just a basic EMV calculation to get the overall, to get the EMV of expected value of perfect information, because we're going to assume that if we bought perfect information, we are only going to have a chance of success. So we have a $750,000 profit if we are successful. So we're going to take that $750,000 and we're going to multiply that by 40%. Okay, so our EMV here is $300,000. Now, here's a spoiler alert for you. Okay, your EMV, okay, with no information is $30,000. So we take the difference between those two. Okay, V with no info, that is $30,000. So we take this expected value of perfect information and we find the difference. Okay, so your expected value of perfect information is $270,000. If you have to pay more than that for the information, you're better off with no information. Your EMV is going to come out better. However, up to $270,000, you should be willing to pay if you have perfect information. So I hope this has been helpful to you. If you've got any questions, you are welcome to email me. I will be available to help you. I hope you have a great rest of the week, and I will see you for our live lesson next week. Thank you.